The diplomatic vessel Serenity's Hope drifted into Nexus Station's docking bay like a child's toy among warships. Commander Zixtal of the Krellian Empire watched from the observation deck, his four eyes narrowing in what his species considered amusement. Around him, representatives from a dozen galactic civilizations murmured and clicked in their native tongues, all sharing the same sentiment. Humanity had finally arrived, and they were disappointingly primitive. "Is that welded metal plating?" Ambassador Threen's translator crackled with disbelief, the crystalline being refracted the station's lights as she leaned closer to the viewport. "They still use physical fasteners." Zixtal's mandibles clicked in laughter. "The humans requested admission to the Galactic Council 3 cycles ago. I assumed they would at least arrive in a vessel worthy of attention." He gestured at the human craft with one of his 6 appendages. "Look at it. No energy shielding, no quantum drive signature, no biotechnical integration. It's held together with rivets and hope." The other ambassadors joined in the mockery. The humans had been broadcasting their presence for decades, their primitive radio waves spilling into space like the babbling of infants. When they finally achieved faster-than-light travel, the Council had been underwhelmed. Most species developed quantum fold drives or biological warp capabilities. Humanity had apparently strapped together some kind of chemical nuclear hybrid monstrosity. "Shall we greet our new friends?" Threen's tone dripped with condescension. The docking bay's massive doors sealed behind the human vessel. Standard protocol dictated a full security scan before any new species could board the station. Zixtal pulled up the holographic interface, initiating the deep structure analysis that would reveal everything about the craft. Its materials, its power source, its weaknesses. The scan began its sweep. Then the alarms started screaming. Zixtal's relaxed posture vanished. Around him, the other ambassadors recoiled from the viewport as security klaxons wailed throughout the observation deck. His console flooded with data, contradictory readings that made no sense. "Impossible," he whispered. "What is it?" Threen demanded, her crystalline form pulsing with agitation. Zixtal's primary hands flew across the controls, running the scan again. The results didn't change. He felt his respiratory vents constrict with something he hadn't experienced in decades: genuine fear. "The hull," he managed. "It's not just metal plating." "Then what is it?" "Compressed stellar material." His voice shook. "The outer layer. Those primitive rivets. They're holding together panels made from the cores of collapsed stars. The density readings they should be impossible to manipulate without gravitational manipulation technology, centuries beyond our capabilities." Threen moved closer, her earlier mockery forgotten. "You're saying the humans can harvest neutron star material?" "Not just harvest. Shape it, weld it. The heat required alone would vaporize any known industrial facility." Zixtal pulled up deeper scan results, and each revelation struck him like a physical blow. The power source isn't nuclear. It's matter-antimatter annihilation, but the containment system. There is no containment system. They're somehow stabilizing antimatter in a quantum uncertainty state. It simultaneously exists and doesn't exist until they need it. Around them, more ambassadors crowded the console, their various appendages and sensory organs straining to comprehend the data. "The weapon signatures," someone gasped. It was Kelmore, the Hive Collective's military advisor. His compound eyes were fixed on a particular readout. "Tell me I'm misreading this." Zixtal checked the weapons scan and felt his blood chill. "You're not. Those structures we thought were communication arrays. They're relativistic kinetic weapons. Each one can accelerate a projectile to 99.9% light speed. At those velocities, a single grain of sand becomes a planet killer." "How many do they have mounted?" Kelmore asked. Zixtal counted, recounted. His mandibles went slack. 47. And that's just what's visible externally. The observation deck had gone completely silent. Every ambassador stared at the human vessel with new eyes. What they had dismissed as a primitive craft was revealing itself to be something far more terrifying. A warship disguised as a diplomatic shuttle, built with technology that shouldn't exist, armed with weapons that could sterilize worlds. "There's more," Zixtal continued, his voice barely functioning. "The life support systems. They're not generating a standard atmosphere. They're maintaining Earth-normal conditions inside. But the scans show they can adapt to any environment. Vacuum, crushing pressure, acidic atmospheres, radiation storms. The crew compartment can transform to survive anything. It's not a ship. It's a self-contained ecosystem that happens to move through space. Threne's crystalline form had stopped refracting light, a sign of deep distress in her species. How did they build this? Their broadcast showed they were barely achieving orbital flight a century ago. I don't know, Zixtal admitted. But there's one more thing. He pulled up the final scan result, the one that had taken the longest to process. The crew complement. How many? Kelmore asked. 3. Silence. 3 humans, Zixtal continued, are operating a vessel that our combined fleets would need a crew of thousands to manage. And according to the biographical scan, none of them are military personnel. One is a botanist. One is a linguist. One is, he checked the translation, a high school teacher. At that moment, the communication console chimed. A human face appeared on the holographic display, middle-aged, smiling, completely unaware of the panic it had just caused. The human adjusted what appeared to be primitive optical enhancement devices on its face. Hello, Nexus Station. This is Dr. Sarah Chen of the Serenity's Hope. Sorry we're a bit late. We had to stop and help a Valorian mining colony with their reactor malfunction. Nothing serious, just had to rebuild their quantum containment matrix from scratch. Anyway, we're excited to finally meet everyone in person. We brought cookies. Should we come aboard? Zixtal looked at the other ambassadors. For the first time in the Galactic Council's 1,000-year history, no one knew what to say. The humans, it seemed, had built a planet-killing dreadnought, crewed it with a gardener, a teacher, and a linguist, and brought baked goods to their first diplomatic meeting. Finally, Kelmore spoke what they were all thinking. What else are they not telling us? On the view screen, Dr. Chen smiled wider, still waiting for a response, completely unaware that the galaxy had just realized humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their inability to understand what should be impossible.